All right, if you're gearing up for the WAEC Mathematics exam, you have come to the perfect place. In this explainer, we're going to crack the code and give you the strategy you need to aim for that A1. So let's just dive right in. Does looking at the entire math syllabus feel like you're standing at the bottom of a massive mountain, just looking up? Yeah, it's a super common feeling. There's a lot to cover, and it's so easy to feel overwhelmed and just wonder, where do I even start? And that's because this exam, the West African Examinations Council, or WAEC, is a huge academic milestone. The maths paper is designed to cover a massive range of topics. But here's the good news. You don't have to climb the entire mountain all at once. Nope. There's a much smarter way to prepare. So let's talk about that smarter path, that better way. We're going to shift from feeling overwhelmed by the problem to focusing on a clear, really effective solution. This is all about having a targeted study strategy. And here is the secret. It is all about focusing on what we call the areas of concentration. I mean, what are these? They're the topics that WAEC tests over and over and over again. So instead of trying to learn everything equally, we're going to zero in on what really truly matters. So what are they? Well, the high-frequency topics are things like algebraic processes, geometry, trigonometry, statistics, and areas like number bases and logarithms. Now, here's what's so cool about this. If you can get a really solid grip on these core areas, you've pretty much covered over 60% of the questions you're likely to see. It's the ultimate study hack for WAEC Maths. Okay, let's start our deep dive with the absolute foundation for your success, algebra and numeration. These topics aren't just important, they are fundamental. They're the building blocks for solving problems across the entire syllabus.
First up, algebraic processes. Now, this isn't just one topic. It's a whole category that consistently carries some of the heaviest marks in the exam, especially when you get to that theory paper, paper 2. So when the syllabus says algebra, what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means getting really comfortable with everything you see here. Solving linear and quadratic equations, tackling simultaneous equations, mastering factorization, and of course, confidently changing the subject of a formula. Graphing is also huge, so make sure you practice drawing and interpreting them.
Building on that, the next piece of this foundational puzzle is number and numeration. These are the concepts that deal with, well, how we represent and work with numbers themselves. Under this umbrella, you'll find topics that are almost guaranteed to show up. You should pay super close attention to number bases, indices, and logarithms. And definitely do not ignore sets. Venn diagram questions are a total staple. And finally, you have arithmetic and geometric progressions, which are all about spotting patterns and sequences.
And this slide right here perfectly shows what I mean. It's a real exam-style problem involving an arithmetic progression, or AP. You see how they give you certain terms and then ask you to find something like the common difference? It's a great example of how these syllabus topics get turned into actual questions you'll have to solve.
Okay, let's switch gears. We're moving from the world of X's and Y's to the more visual side of mathematics. Now we're going to focus on geometry and trigonometry, where your ability to see shapes and angles in your mind's eye is really the key to success.
Geometry and mensuration. I gotta say, this is one of the most repeated sections in the entire exam. If you want to score those high marks, you simply cannot afford to ignore this area. It is just packed with points waiting for you to grab them.
So, the key is to focus your effort. And right at the top of that list, you see it, circle theorems. They are incredibly important and pop up all the time in the theory paper. Beyond that, make sure you know your angle properties, the formulas for area and volume of common solids, and of course, how to calculate surface area.
Now for geometry's close partner, trigonometry. I know, this is a topic that can feel a bit intimidating for a lot of students, but honestly, the questions in WAEC are often very predictable, as long as you know what to look for.
So what should you focus on? It all starts with the basics, your SOHCAHTOA ratios. From there, you absolutely must know when and how to apply the sine rule and the cosine rule. And finally, practice those word problems involving angles of elevation, depression, and bearings. Those are classic application questions.
Okay, so we've covered the what to study. Now let's talk about the how, because having the right strategy and tools is just as important as knowing the topics. This is your practical guide to turning that knowledge into top marks. Before you do anything else, you have to understand what you're up against. The exam has two parts. Paper 1 is all about speed and accuracy with 50 multiple choice questions. Paper 2 is the theory paper. That's where you have to show your detailed workings across 10 essay-style questions. Just knowing this structure helps you manage your time so much more effectively.
Now for the proven tips. Number 1 is just non-negotiable. Solve past questions. You got to do it. Aim for at least 5 to 10 years worth. 2. Your calculator is your best friend. Know it inside and out. 3. Memorize those key formulas so you're not scrambling in the exam hall. 4. For paper 2, show your work clearly. That's how you get every single possible mark. And finally, be honest with yourself about your weak spots and attack them first.
And this brings us to what might just be the most important piece of advice in this entire explainer. Don't just cram the steps to a solution. The real goal is to understand why each step is taken, because that deeper understanding means that even if they twist a question or present it in a new way, you'll have the confidence and the flexibility to solve it.
So we're back at the mountain. But now, it shouldn't seem so intimidating, right? You have the map, you have the strategy, and you know the key paths to get to the top. The only question left is, are you ready to start that climb and conquer it? You've absolutely got this.